Hey everyone, Mystical Mark here. This will be your weekly astrology forecast for the week of February 4th to the 10th of 2024. Just to mention first, I'm sorry there was no video last week. I wasn't really feeling very well, so I didn't end up doing it, and I had a bunch of other stuff to work on too. But we're back into it for this week. So for this week, we do have that new moon in Aquarius, so let's get a look at the charts here. Alright, so to start off this week here on Sunday, February 4th, we will have Mercury coming into Aquarius. So it's not quite showing here as I have the chart set for roughly 4 p.m. This won't happen till around, showing here, 10:08 p.m. on Sunday Mountain Time. So again, this is not till like later in the evening. We're going to feel this really more on Monday, especially as Mercury is going to be in exact conjunction to Pluto on Monday. So that it kind of intensifies this entrance into Aquarius. So Mercury in Aquarius here. Aquarius, Uranus, kind of like things happening out of nowhere. This is also like the higher octave of Mercury. So Aquarius is more like I know. Mercury is like I think, I communicate. That's kind of more like Gemini, learning, the curiosity. Aquarius is more like I know, right? So it's kind of like inspiration coming out of nowhere. This could be thoughts kind of just coming to your mind, or communication that kind of comes to you, happens out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere. This could be communication regarding, acts of rebelliousness in a sense as well. I mean, as Mercury comes in conjunction to Pluto, that again, this stuff could intensify a bit. In fact, Mercury coming into Aquarius is the only thing that's really the major thing happening here on Sunday. So in fact, let's just jump to Monday, the 5th here, so we can just take a look. So on Monday, February 5th, is going to be where Mercury is in exact conjunction to Pluto. Of course, this happens a bit like earlier in the day. So again, it's exact 5:57 a.m. So that Mercury kind of comes in overnight, and then it's exact early morning. So late Sunday into early Monday, but I believe the focus is probably more on Monday here. We're going to have this kind of intense Mercury energy. So the other aspects that are happening today, and I kind of want to mention this because this could be somewhat relatable to maybe what kind of communication could occur. We're going to have Venus here in exact square to Chiron. So Venus here in Capricorn, again, Venus still ruling the south node and moving into square the node. So there's an aspect of this release still of these Venus related themes. And of course, this trajectory and moving forward, balancing out the self versus the other. So again, there could be this release and letting go in a sense as well. Venus in Capricorn could be an aspect of boundaries in terms of our partnerships, our relationships. This could also relate to goals as well as career, especially in terms of career, in terms of our abundance, how we make our money. There's a trine building here to Uranus as well. But with the focus here on this day, Venus in square to Chiron, this could be very triggering in terms of these Venus themes, right? So this could be triggering maybe in terms of things that we're needing to let go of, or things that we're going to set a boundary in order to let go of in terms of those related themes. And this can revolve around aspects of self-worth, material things, money, abundance, as well as aspects of our relationships, other people, justice comes to mind as well. It's a theme for Libra here as well. So the other thing too is the sun in Aquarius is going to be in sextile to Chiron. Excuse me, sorry. So there's going to be like this opportunity here. So with the sun in Aquarius, this is again dealing with our, our uniqueness. There's an aspect of freedom, of rebellion, of being your own unique self. This is also connecting and disconnecting as well. And with this sextile to Chiron here in Aries, this could be relating to those themes in terms of our own self, the aspects of our self, our independence, in terms of our uniqueness and what we value here. And again, with this north node as well moving into conjunction here, and the sun moving in sextile to that too, this is regarding our trajectory forward in terms of ourself and our own independence, and moving away from these aspects of codependency, right? So there could be a connection and disconnection here regarding certain people, certain things in our life regarding this. And again, this is aspecting the nodes too, so this is regarding our trajectory forward and can deal with that aspect of letting go. But with this sextile to Chiron, there's an opportunity here to move forward in terms of healing oneself, in terms of these areas, our uniqueness, our individuality, all of those things are acts of rebelliousness and freedom that exist within that progression, right? Especially in terms of healing that. And with Venus here too in square to Chiron, with Venus in Capricorn, this can deal with, maybe aspects of control regarding our relationships as well, aspects of restriction, and again, what needs to be released and let go of so that we can move forward. One thing I want to note here is with this square, this could be a bit triggering in terms of this Chiron stuff, in terms of our wounds to self, and surrounding, this aspects of career, money, other people, how all that relates. So just kind of pay attention to that. I know there's been a lot of maybe layoffs in like the big tech industry lately. I'm not saying that's going to occur. However, remember we had Mercury on this point squaring the nodes in Capricorn. So that kind of there's been a lot of stuff happening regarding this Venus South node and this kind of Capricornian stuff over this past while. And it's a relatable theme. So I'm not saying that that's necessarily what that's going to be. But again, it's a possibility. Again, this could also just be us setting boundaries in that sense. And what I mean by maybe aspects of control, or maybe a letting go of certain things, leaving certain type relationship issues in the past. And again, regarding this restriction, this could be triggered again by this aspect of Mercury in conjunction to Pluto here, as Mercury moves into Aquarius and comes into conjunction to Pluto, right? So with this conjunction, you're kind of dealing with a very strong Mercury energy and this strong Aquarius energy. So with this Aquarius energy, again, this is that lightning strike, things happening out of nowhere, thoughts coming out of nowhere, awakening, realizations, sudden realizations. And this is even more intensified by this Pluto energy. And this is also could be communication, intense, blunt communication, even coming out of nowhere. This is like speaking with no filter, right? This Pluto, Pluto's the modern ruler of Scorpio. Scorpio isn't going to butter it up for you. Scorpio shows you how it is, right? It's that revealing energy of what's really hidden beneath, that penetrating deep to what's really there. And with this, Mercury in Aquarius, this could be just sudden blurts of communication or thoughts just out of nowhere that could very well be straight up blunt about certain things. And that's why I say it could be triggering, especially in terms of, these Venus themes, other people, maybe our self-worth, money, abundance, value, that kind of stuff could really be triggering on this day on Monday. And that could also, again, as Sunday night, as Mercury kind of begins to move into this point, we're building in, so this is intensifying this as this occurs. So we may feel some of this maybe start to occur Sunday night, but Monday is kind of the day where we're going to have this kind of happen. So again, just be kind of mindful of that. This is intensifying this Aquarian energy. This could be even just rebellious communication as well, just being I want to transform and shake things up the hell out of this. I'm done. I'm moving on, whatever. So just be mindful of communication on Monday. This, like I said, I think I mentioned this could be awakening type of stuff in terms of the mind, in terms of what you think, communication stuff that just comes to you. But again, this communication could be very transformative as well, awakening and transformative. So just kind of be mindful of that. Going to be interesting to see what happens on Monday regarding this energy. So just, like I said, be careful of that moving forward. All right, so let's take a look here then at Tuesday the 6th. So on Tuesday the 6th, we're going to have Venus coming into exact square to the nodes. So again, this is, like I said, this is relating to, again, this letting go of stuff, relationships, these things that aren't working. Venus is highlighting our trajectory forward here, the balancing out of the self in terms of this stuff. This could deal with restrictions and control in terms of codependency as well, and needing to let that go in order to move forward and to heal in a sense in these relationships. And again, with Venus ruling Taurus, this could deal with value and self-worth. Venus is also in trine to Uranus here in Taurus, right? So this is highlighting more of this Aquarian energy too that is happening. So again, and with Uranus and Taurus, this can deal a lot with our value and our self-worth regarding to our uniqueness and the connections that we do have in our lives. So that can definitely play a major theme here this week. Again, this can also relate a lot to change, right? There's a lot of letting go that's happening here with this Aquarian energy. This is again dealing with a lot of change, shakeups, right? And this communication stuff that could be happening could be regarding that as well, regarding a lot of the changes and stuff that's going on, regarding our material things and the people in our lives, regarding our goals, career, foundational stuff. Capricorn is also foundational stuff. This could be new foundational stuff, letting go of old foundations and how they relate to, relationships and stuff, or finding justice and balance in that, or in terms of our money, value, and worth in all of those things, right? And ultimately, we want to move forward in healing a lot of that stuff too. So, right, there's a lot of change that's happening. There's a lot of, like letting go stuff that is occurring here. But again, that also is a reflection of this Venus in terms of our relationships, value, self-worth, all that kind of stuff, and how that relates. Also on this day, the sun is going to be aspecting the nodes too, although this is more of a positive aspect, so sextile the north node, trine the south node. So again, this shakeup, this change, this uniqueness, all of that kind of energy, that kind of vibe in trine to the south node, this could be disconnecting from that which doesn't vibe with that anymore, right? Disconnecting from relationships. This is positive change in letting go of a lot of, maybe these things that we've held on to, and there's an opportunity here to really heal and move forward in terms of ourself, in terms of, our own independence, and release these codependent behaviors and relationships, finding balance and justice in that sense as well. All right, so again, there's an aspect of change, an aspect of letting go, and all of that is occurring here too. All right, let's move to Wednesday here, the 7th. So on Wednesday the 7th, again, we're going to have Venus in exact trine to Uranus. So again, it's like I've touched on here, these aspects of, it could deal with value and self-worth in terms of our relationships, in terms of maybe even setting new boundaries. Venus is still square the nodes here again, so this could be this letting go and shaking that up and understanding our value and self-worth in that sense. This could also relate to the changes that do occur in that sense in our lives, whether it's through our goals in life, through, shaking up these aspects of control, releasing maybe certain aspects of control in that sense, as it relates to, our value, our self-worth, again, money, abundance, our material things, all of that kind of stuff. But this is a positive shift and a positive shake-up and kind of change in that sense that is occurring here. On this day as well, Mars is an exact sextile to Neptune in Pisces. So again, Mars in Capricorn, taking action towards our goals. This is grounded action. Mars is exalted here in Capricorn. Mars is either the boss or wants to listen to the boss to know what to do to move forward here. And again, with this Capricornian Pisces type energy, this is taking action on that vision, taking action on our intuition, seeing that vision, and there's an opportunity here to kind of ground that in, take action on that, etc., to move forward here. And again, that could deal a lot with this change and shakeups in terms of, our relationships and how we want to move forward. Mars, of course, is ruling this north node Chiron type energy that Venus is aspecting and really wanting to move forward. So this could be seeing also maybe through an illusion here in a sense, or again, taking action on this vision or taking action on something that has existed maybe behind the scenes in some way to bring it into fruition, into foundation in some sense as well. Regarding, again, these shakeups and these changes that we're trying to make. And like I said, relating to value, self-worth, and our connecting and disconnecting in that sense as well. Also, we're going to have Venus in exact trine to Juno retrograde here in Virgo. So again, Juno retrograde, it's a retrograde, so it's kind of re-looking over things. Juno is our partnerships, contractual partnerships, business contracts and partnerships. This could deal with marriages, committed partnerships, committed relationships, but this is dealing with it in a practical sense. It could be romantic still in a practical sense, but this could also just be a lot of practical kind of partnerships and contracts that are kind of being reviewed in this sense. And with Venus and Capricorn squaring the nodes, it's maybe, what needs to be let go of in order to move forward. And again, this could be triggering as it deals with this Chiron energy, and there's a lot of shakeups and change. Again, this could deal with material things, money, value, our self-worth, and again, a lot of that stuff could be triggering in this sense. So there could be changes in that relate to maybe aspects of boundaries or wanting to set new boundaries in a way. Maybe we hear some kind of intense communication regarding this earlier in the week, maybe, but again, this energy is building, right? But there's an aspect of reviewing this and change that is occurring here, maybe in terms of those partnerships. In terms of that, there could be an aspect of letting go, an aspect of change that is kind of occurring here, because Uranus is trying this as well, and I believe that exact trine is peaking this week too. So yeah, change is the name of the game. All right, I think I've said that a couple weeks ago as well. I kind of sound like I'm repeating myself, but I mean, it really is. We're dealing with a lot of Aquarius energy. We're going to have more energy moving into Aquarius, right? So it's just this month, this week especially, is surrounding this aspect of change. Okay, let's move on to Thursday here, the 8th. So on Thursday the 8th, we're going to have the Sun in exact square to Uranus. So again, Sun square Uranus. Sun is in Aquarius, Uranus's home sign, and square to Uranus here in Taurus. This is really pushing for that shake-up, that change, right? And again, this is dealing with our value, our worth, our material things. Taurus can also be very stubborn. So with this push for this change in this way, just be careful with that, right? And I say that as Uranus and Taurus can relate to strong earthly things, whether it be weather, earthquakes, that Mother Earth type stuff. So with this square, I mean, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but if you live in an area where there's earthquakes, maybe just be mindful of it on this day, and also on this new moon on Friday as well, as the Sun will still be in square. But again, this is really pushing for those shakeups. And when Uranus is in Taurus and it's kind of forced to shift, this is like that cattle prod energy. It's like the cow doesn't want to move. It's like you have a cattle prod for a reason. It's that lightning strike, kick it in the butt to get it going, right? And that's kind of what this energy is. Like Uranus and Taurus is kind of like that cattle prod in the ass to get moving and change, right? Because Taurus is very slow. It doesn't want to change unless it kind of sees a value in that. So this may be like abrupt. This may be like, well, I don't know if I want to change. I don't know if I want to do this, but it's kind of being forced, right? The Sun is still aspecting the nodes here as well. In sextile to Chiron, this is an opportunity to maybe heal and move forward, to release these codependent things, recognize the value and our own worth and our own individuality and independence. That could be an aspect of this as well, enforcing that change and pushing forward in that sense as well too here. And again, this is going to be reflected on this new moon. Also, the Sun will be in quincunx to Juno retrograde here. So again, this is dealing with our partnerships, contractual partnerships, relationships. There's a frustration and integration that maybe needs to occur here as this needs to be reviewed on some kind of a practical level regarding some kind of change that needs to be made in this sense as well. Right? And again, that doesn't have to be like necessarily businessy. Like I said, it could be like a relationship type situation. Maybe there's change that needs to occur. Maybe there's a move in some way that needs to happen, and there's a practical review of whatever that relationship is in that sense, and it could be frustrating in some way, right? But it needs to be integrated in some way. All right, so let's actually just move on to Friday here, where we're going to have the new moon. So I should have the chart set here at 4 p.m. when this is going to be occurring. And so again, it's kind of going over already a bit of what I've spoken about here. So again, with this quincunx to Juno, this trine to the south node, Sun has kind of moved a bit off that sextile to the north node. You could still consider that if you want. And this square to Uranus, of course. So again, with this square to Uranus, this is really pushing for that that change, that shake-up, that change, that aspect of rebellion, the shifting, we're progressing, we're moving forward in some way. We may not feel like we want it, but it's happening. This is the cattle prod in the ass to boot us all forward. This is signaling a month of change, right? With this quincunx to Juno here in Virgo, this is kind of maybe a frustration in a practical sense in terms of our partnerships, contractual partnerships, relationships, but with this trine to the south node, it's maybe letting go of certain aspects of that, or just certain things in our life as well, as it relates to this Venus type energy again, which relates to this Taurus and Libra type energy. Those people, again, those things, value, self-worth. This could, again, like I said, relate to this aspects of self-worth. This is starting anew. This is this new moon. These shakeups and this push for change regarding, again, like I said, those aspects of money and value, and also our self-worth and how we value our individuality and our own self as well, in terms of moving forward in that sense too, and maybe just not taking the BS anymore, right? I mean, Uranus is in Taurus, Venus rules Taurus, Venus is in Capricorn, is dealing with aspects of control, restriction. Venus is still ruling over the south node here, dealing with aspects, relationships, codependency, like I said, dealing with these self-worth issues and all of this stuff. It's all kind of intertwined here. Change is, like I said, change is the name of the game. We're moving on. We're wanting to move forward in the sense, right? With Venus still square the nodes and having previously squared Chiron earlier in the week, right? So again, new moon really signaling an aspect of change, and I think that cattle prod of change in really moving forward. We may not feel like it's what we want, we're not sure. Taurus is very slow, like I said, but it's happening. It's happening whether we like it or not, and we need to learn to see the value in that, and those that do see the value in that are going to, again, find this energy better off. I think I mentioned that in a video, a couple weeks ago. Regarding this could be slow and steady change, but with all this energy in Aquarius now, it's not really being slow anymore, right? I kind of think I said this previously too, Taurus may not really stand a chance here. So just kind of, be mindful of that. All right. Also on this day, Uranus is an exact trine to Juno retrograde. So again, it's like I said, there's maybe shakeups in terms of some practical aspect of partnerships or contracts or changes. Again, this is in really a grand trine to Venus here as well in Capricorn, surrounding our goals, maybe aspects of control, and shaking that up in terms of value, aspects of value, self-worth, money, those kinds of things, in terms of re-reviewing these type of committed partnerships and contracts and that kind of stuff. So again, there could be an aspect of a change, a push towards a change that needs to occur in that sense. And some people might not like that, but again, this is a grand trine that's occurring here with this Venus, so it's ultimately for the better in some way. It's just maybe a bit frustrating and something that maybe needs to be integrated as well. All right, let's move on to Saturday here, the 10th. So on Saturday the 10th, we're going to have Mercury here in square to Jupiter. So with Mercury in square to Jupiter, again, Jupiter always expands what it touches. Jupiter and Taurus surrounding our value and self-worth, and again, how this relates to our uniqueness, our individuality, communication surrounding that. There could be an expansion of communication surrounding that, regarding, our connections, regarding our own value and worth as well, and relating that on a more grander scale, and maybe expanding in a sense in terms of either communication or other Mercury themes, maybe like dealing with local environment, siblings, that kind of energy, shakeups and changes that maybe occur in that sense as well, in terms of, expansion. But I think just on a core level, dealing with, just straight up aspects of communication in the mind and thoughts, really focusing on this aspect of value and self-worth and our individuality in that sense, and speaking about it, and this aspect of maybe connection and disconnection, in terms of that as well. Because remember, Venus rules Taurus, Venus is still here in Capricorn, wanting to lay those boundaries, and she's kind of moved off of that square to the nodes, but we're still kind of here, maybe dealing with these aspects of control, and maybe we want to expand in how we see ourselves in terms of that worth. But again, this is just expanding in terms of And from a basic sense, just, communication. There could be an expansion of communication that maybe just happens out of nowhere. And it could be regarding money and abundance and that type of stuff as well. All right. So that's all I've got for this week. All right, I hope you enjoyed the forecast for this week. If you did like this video, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications if you want more from me. If you're interested in getting a reading with me, the link is in the description below, along with all my other social links. Also, just a reminder that these are streamed live on Twitch every week, so if you want to tune into that prior to these being uploaded to YouTube, feel free to do so. There is time afterwards, like if you want to ask me questions or anything like that. So yeah, just come join if you're interested. Link is in the description below. All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a great week. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.